Hello, welcome to the 6th grade Science Awards for second period science in 2019 to 2020. Our first award goes to a young student who was always working very hard in science class and in math class. She worked all the time on math. But her award is not for her math or her science. Her award is for her creativity. This student was always busy making things, whether it was for something in science, a project where she was working on painting or coloring, or she was making pictures for her friends. She even found websites where she can do interior designing. And so the student winning the award for the creator is Kiera. Well done, Kiera. Our next award goes to a young man who is very intelligent and is a great student, but he really has a passion for acting and for making people laugh. And so the student who is the most likely to win a Golden Globe is Mason. Good job, Mason. You'll get it someday. Our next student she's an excellent student, has great work ethic, very creative and talented, and her award is for best taste in music. And so all throughout the school year, she would either hear songs being played in class or she would talk about different music she liked, and she just has great taste in music. So best taste in music award goes to Jordan. Good job, Jordan. This next award goes to a student that came in a little later in the school year, but fortunately with the e-learning, I've gotten to know her pretty well. And so this student has many gifts and talents, and she's funny and she loves being around people. She's very social, but the thing that really stands out about this student is how spunky she is. If she believes in something, she's going to stand up for it, and she just has a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. And so the student that I think is the spunkiest is Maddie. Good job, Maddie. Our next award goes to a young man who, this award kind of has, it's one award, but it has like many meanings. And so one of these things is that this person loves Star Wars. So he probably already knows who he is. And so think Star Wars, outer space. There are moons in outer space. But there was one person who kind of coined the term for moonwalking, and that was Michael Jackson. And this student also loves Michael Jackson. And in fact, so much that one time there was actually a moonwalking competition in our class between this student and another. And so the student who is winning the Moonwalker Award, not only for Star Wars and for Michael Jackson, but I think this student, if he wants to go walk on the moon someday, he has all the gifts and talents that will be able to get him there. And that is Hayden. So great job, Hayden. Our next student getting an award actually was a student who did the moonwalking competition against Hayden, so she knows who she is. But this student has such a good work ethic and is very, very gifted and very intelligent. And when asked for the students to pick their favorite animal, she picked a betta fish, which is awesome and unusual, but I think that goes to her love for aquatics and marine sciences. And so I think the student most likely has a future in marine biology is Erica. I totally see you doing that, Erica, and you would do a great job with it. All right, so this next student, I don't know why, but the students call him Becky. Doesn't make any sense to me, so I almost gave him the Becky Award, but I don't get it, so I didn't. This student does have a real passion for mechanical sciences, so mechanical engineering. Earlier in the year when we learned about different machines, he was all about it. He thought it was so cool, so interesting. And so most likely to work in mechanics in some way, shape, or form, Justin. So great job, Justin. All right, so this student, I've already told her this, but the first time I met her, okay, keep in mind she was leaving 5th grade, becoming a 6th grader, I was intimidated. She is fierce, she is strong, she is powerful. This student is a no-nonsense. We don't mess around. We get our job done. We get it done right. And so I think I could totally see this if she even wants this. Most likely to become a CEO, that's Taya. She would get the job done. Okay, our next student, she is creative. She's super good at charades. Fun fact, thanks e-learning for Zoom sessions and games. And she's very artistic. She loves to paint and create things. And She makes her own dresses, which is really cool. And so for Whimsical Wonder, this is Ava. She's just so full of whimsy and delight, and so she's the Whimsical Wonder. Our next award goes to a student who has worked very hard all year, and not only is she a good student, but she's a good friend. She, this person, she can do anything that she sets her mind to, and I believe that she will. And so for this award, it's called my Sky's the Limit Award. And so I've given this to a student each year, students who I cannot wait to see where they're going to go, because I have no doubt that it's going to be someplace really cool. And so that is Hallie, is the Sky's the Limit. This next award goes to one of my favorite superheroes. And this young lady, I know that she works really hard at school, but she also has a lot of responsibilities at home. And she takes care of her siblings. She does her schoolwork. She just does it all. And I think that she's a really good role model, and she's a superhero. And so the student receiving the Wonder Woman Award for always working hard and taking care of others is Caitlin. Well done, Caitlin. Okay, so this next award is kind of weird if you weren't there, but my second step students for the first 9 weeks would get this. We did some skits and things, and so one of the things we talked about is when you're upset, how do you walk away? Because sometimes that is the best thing to do in a situation, is just walk away, go calm down, go relax. And one particular young man, we coined the phrase. When I say it, you'll know who it is, but he just did the Nate walk. And so he just kind of like swaggered away, like it's no big deal, it doesn't matter. And so I think he just kind of embodies what we all should do when we're in conflict. Instead of getting mad, just walk away. So the best walker goes to Nate. He does. He just always had a smile on his face, and he was always up for anything, even if it was silly skits. And so he's awesome. Good job, Nate. Okay, the next student. This one's a little bit more serious. This young lady works really hard in school. She's very, very intelligent. And I know that she has had some tough times, not only this year, but I think just all the time. And it's hard when you go through those tough things, but I also believe that they do make you stronger. And when I think about this person, I think of diamonds, because diamonds were coal that just have had so much pressure, and instead of cracking under the pressure, they become diamonds that are beautiful and worth so much. And so the Diamond Award goes to Mary. And so Mary, if you're going through tough times, just keep in mind that this is all shaping and making you into this woman that is so strong and so beautiful and capable of anything and full of worth. So good job, Mary. Our next student, he always comes in the room bopping and dancing, and he's always ready for a good time, and tends to cheer other people up, and just really always is in pretty upbeat mood. And so the life of the party, this goes to Marshall. Always ready for a good time, always ready to make people laugh and happy. And so great job, Marshall. Okay, our next student, I've gotten to know this student a lot because he was in my advisory, and I had him all day pretty much sometimes. But I know that this student has a real passion for history, specifically like war history. And so he knows more about World War II than I do, and probably a lot of other things, historically speaking. And so the historian goes to Henry. And so Henry, keep pursuing what you're passionate about. I think it's going to take you someplace really cool. That, or it's just a really awesome hobby. So good job, Henry. All right, up next. This young lady is so intelligent. She is so friendly. She is a great athlete. She has many gifts and talents. And so I just wanted to remind her that she's not just a student, even though that is important, but she has many other attributes. And so I kind of came up with this word, sublime system. I wanted it to be a literary, so that's why there's the first word is sublime. But sublime means extreme or unparalleled nature of a person's attitude or behavior. And so Sublime is like a really good thing. And so this student, she just has a heart of gold, and she's really, just really takes things to heart. And a system, we learn in science, is something that has many parts, and all those parts work together for a common purpose. And so put this together, you have this really awesome person that has many attributes, including academics, but that's not all she is. She's a lot more than just that, although she's really good at academics. And so the Sublime system is Emma. So Emma, you are awesome, and you are unparalleled in your nature and your behavior. The next award goes to a young man who has had some of the coolest hairstyles of any kid that I've ever taught. And I think that he has some hidden gifts and talents that I think he's going to use in a really good and powerful way. And so I think he's going to use this, and he's most likely to become famous. So look out, Park County, because Zeke, he's going to be famous someday. He's going to do something really cool, and we're all going to be like, we knew Zeke, I was his teacher. So that's what we're looking for, Zeke. Our next student, I showed horses when I was younger, and there was a class at our fair called Versatility, where you would do a class where you led the horse, and then you would do a class where you did like one style of riding and then a different style, and then finally you did barrels. So like all these very different ways that you can show horse, that most horses can't do all of those different things. Like you have some horses that can do halter, you have some horses that could do the English or the Western, and then you have some horses that do the really fast gaming, but some horses can do all three, and you call those like a versatility. And so the Versatility Award for me is a student who does academics. He does athletics. Okay, this kid's really, really into basketball. Like every time I've driven past his house, I think he's been outside playing basketball during this pandemic. And so the Versatility Award goes to Trey. So good job, Trey. Our next award goes to a young lady who she does cheer, and she's very passionate about that. She's very excited. She's a great student, but I just can picture this student in a few years being like at the very front, cheering on any sporting event, like leading the pep session. And so I just see her having the most school spirit, and this is Ariel. So great job, Ariel. And that is the end of our second period science awards. Thank you guys so much for an amazing year. I really am sorry that we didn't get to end it together. You guys are great kids, and I just was truly blessed by being your teacher this year. I hope you guys have a great summer, and I will hopefully see you around next fall.